everyone, this is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today, a little river pattern. I've actually used this in the lakes as well. I won't represent what it's actually doing, but it's just a good attractor in the lakes. But this is a river pattern, very heavy. I want to get this down fast. It's a caddis pattern, and it's just my take on a peeping caddis. So, right, here we go. So, in the vise today we have a Hends BL144 size 12 big game jig hook. I've got a Hens Tungston bead 3.5 mil black on there. I'm also going to put a little bit of Semperfli lead-free heavy alloy in the 0.5 mil just to get a little bit of extra weight. Going to be using some Semperfli Nanosilk in olive. And I will be using a little bit, and this can tell you how old this is. Reddick's Fly Shop hasn't been around in a long time down in Maple Ridge. So, but yeah, so I'll be using their. This is a worm chenille. I really love this color. I actually don't use it that often because I don't have. That's all I got left, and you ain't gonna find it again. This color, it's just. The color is just perfect, right? And that's why I haven't found another one exactly the same. So I really like this one, and this is what I use it for. And then I will use one Hungarian partridge feather. If you don't have Hungarian partridge, you can use a hen pheasant, just one nice and small. You want that barred look on it. And then for the body, I'm going to be using some Semperfli bug yarn in the pale olive. I also tie it in, let's see, the Racophilia. Where is the Racophilia? The Racophilia green. I also tie it in the lichen. So I tie it in many different colors from there. Oh, the Molted Golden Stone is another really cool one. So, yeah. But today I'll be using the Dirty Pale Olive. Alrighty? Okay, let's get her going. So first things first, let's start my, let's get our wire on, our lead. So I'm just going to put a little bit right behind, I just want 4 or 5 extra turns right behind this jig. If I can actually move it out of the way. There we go. And then I'm going to use my junky scissors here. Or I wouldn't call them junky scissors, but my other ones, just because I don't have nails. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure my jig is facing the right way and then push that right tight up against it. Then I'll start this right in behind, make a little bit of a thread dam, and then coming in through that weighted wire. Just making sure that's all covered. Okay, cut that off. Now what I do is I take my worm chenille, and I'm just going to give it a little. I want that look of that blackened head, right? That's sticking out. So just giving this a little bit of a burn. I don't want too much, and if I do that, that's also fine, because then you can just cut it off. There you go. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's my hot water thing saying, "Hey, I'm ready." So there's that. Now, what I like doing on these is I take some Gulf ambulance chartreuse chartreuse resin here, and I like just putting a little dab right on the back end here. There's 2 reasons for this. One, just adds a little bit more of that really bright green for the peeping portion. But it will also help keep this piece of worm chenille up when it hardens, right? So I'm just going to let that just go around for a second. Sorry about that, about moving it like that, but so yeah, so I just put this little bulb of the ambulance green here on to the onto the hook. So, and then now I will tie on my little piece of worm chenille. And like I said, you'll see that I want this sticking out, the head sticking out a little bit past the bend of the hook, so about there. So I'm just gonna tie that in right there. And then I'll just keep that on top of the hook shank until I'm back at that bulge I made with the UV resin. And you see how it pops it up a bit? That's what I want. I want this to prop up just a little bit. And the reason for that I like it like that at least, is this is going to ride this way, and quite often the little head will be out right on the ground, and it'll be walking around, and they sometimes walk on an angle, right? So that's why this will be, like I said, this will be on an angle down, right? Because this will be heavy, and then the way it walks. Okay, so there's that. Make sure that's right on the top, which it is. So then I'm going to come back to that bulge, right where I tied in, and I take one of my Hungarian partridge feathers, clean off all the fluff on the back end, and I'm going to tie this in by the tip. Okay, and depending on how good of a feather you have, how fluffy the feather is, how much there is in it, like how many barbules, you may want to peel one side off or not. You kind of got to make a judgment call on how many legs, if you want to call it that you want on it. So this one here, I'm probably going to leave both sides. I'm just going to tie that right into the front. It's all going to get covered anyway, all those little hairs. Then I'll bring this back. I'm going to grab my hackle pliers, and then just hackle it like you would normally a collar, just that this is on the back end instead of the front end, right? Just want to make sure all that's facing back and right up against that worm chenille. Right up against that worm chenille. Okay. Tie that off. Cut away my excess. And now you can put a wire in here if you want for ribbing. I don't need to. I find I don't need to with this dirty bug yarn, but you can if you'd like. I just put on my dirty bug yarn. It's such an easy fly, and I can pound a bunch of these out real quick, which is good because these things bounce right along the bottom. You do have a tendency of losing some, right? So I'm right up against that, and then wrap this forward to right behind that jig, and we're done. As soon as I whip finish this, we're finished. That's how easy this pattern is. It's so simple and yet so effective in rivers. It's just crazy good. And then now I'll just take just a little tiny bit of Sally's, put it in here. I'll clean off that fluff in a minute. Just a tiny little bit of Sally Hansen's on my thread. Whip finish one more time right behind that bead, nice and tight. And if there's any fuzz, which there isn't, there's a tiny bit of fuzz right at the head there. Then what I like doing actually is just taking a Velcro and just giving this just ever so slight rough up. Don't go crazy. You don't want this to look like a leech. You just want this thing to be buggy. And there's my little Peeping Caddis jig. That's it. Super simple, easy to tie, lots of weight. That tungsten bead and that underbody lead from Semperfli really makes this thing heavy. Great for like Euro nymphing. Great for like high sticking, things like that, right? So it works really well in many streams. And just when you're down at your stream, find out what color your insects are. If they're taking on more of a dark green, use this one. If they're taking on more of a light green, go to the Racophilia. If they're a bit more on the gray side, go to a different. Like, there's so many different colors in this dirty bug yarn that you can customize your flies to the insects that are in your stream, right? So I know this one works really well on a few of the streams here in eastern British Columbia, western Alberta. So, alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, give her a thumbs up. If you subscribed, thank you very much. We're gaining and gaining. It's excellent. We just had our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. So that has just been finished, and we'll probably do another small giveaway at 2,500, and then we'll do another giveaway at 3,000. Every 500 or so, I'm going to do a giveaway. It won't be as big as this. This was a pretty big one, but I'll be doing giveaways for books and all kinds of stuff in the next bite. So, alrighty, spread the word. Let everybody know about the channel. Thanks for your support. Thailands, everyone.